dad jokes aplenty for today's Father's Day inspired Afternoon Express cook-along with me, Palisa Tembe. Funny man and dad of two, Stuart Taylor's in the kitchen to help us whip up mini egg fritters, an irresistible baked potato with cheesy pilchard and baked bean mayo dish, and a Father's Day version of a Dagwood sandwich. Dumi, doesn't that just sound delicious?
It definitely sounds delicious, Palisa, but there's nothing funny about the recipes we have today. And if you want to make sure that you get your hands on all those recipes, do make sure that you head over to afternoonexpress.co.za for the full ingredients list, and we might just hit you up and add some dad jokes to there. But over to you, Palisa.
I see that you came game face on and ready for some cooking. But first, let's get into our guest. 2021 has been a year filled with ups and downs, and we could all use a pick-me-up. So thanks to Fresh Pack, they've got the perfect pick-me-up solution. They're Rooibos cappuccinos. It comes in classic and vanilla flavors and ready to enjoy in minutes. Now we're joined by award-winning comedian and dad, Stuart Taylor, as we get to know the man behind the mic over a hot cuppa. And of course, we're going to be chatting about his new show on SABC2, Comedy Mixtape.
Wiki, wiki, wiki. Awesome.
Welcome to The Laugh.
Thank you very much. I'm very surprised that you know what a mixtape is. You're a little bit younger than most people who know what mixtapes are.
First and foremost, I will let you know, sir.
Yes.
I am a grown woman. I am so grown, honey. And I'm an old soul, I like to think.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm also a huge fan of music. But not only am I a huge fan of music, but I'm a huge fan of you.
Oh, so cheers to you.
Cheers to that. I mean, firstly, I have to find out about you, your journey as a comedian. Now you're a musician now.
Yes.
A journey as a comedian, and just, you know, how you got behind the mic.
Well, it's a long story. Do we have a lot of time?
About an hour.
About an hour. Okay, cool. Where shall I begin? I was born funny. I wasn't born funny. It was a C-section, actually. You see, there's my first joke. That's okay. The jokes aside, how did I get into it? You know, I used to do magic when I was a kid. I went to a place called the College of Magic with people like Riyad Musa and Conrad Koch. We were all a bunch of magic geeks. And eventually, when we finished varsity, we thought, you know, let's add a bit of a comical swing to the magic. And one thing led to another. And then we found comedy clubs. And suddenly we dropped the magic. And here we are, doing comedy.
I think that your journey is somewhat of a magical one, because I think that we have seen you go from strength to strength. And now SABC2 holding it down. Talk to me about Comedy Mixtape, and when can viewers enjoy it?
So Comedy Mixtape was actually pitched to the SABC quite a while ago. Myself and Riyad said to the guys, listen, we want to do a sketch show based in Cape Town, because there have been many sketch shows over the years. Bantu Hour, there's been, of course, Pure Nati, the big one back in the day, but Cape Town never had one. And we always say that Cape Town's got a slightly different sense of humor to the rest of the country. So we were saying, come on, guys, give us the opportunity. Of course, then, you know, COVID hit and that kind of everything ground to a halt. But we managed to get it all together and spent the first part of this year shooting the Comedy Mixtape with the most amazing acts. I mean, our hosts of each episode are people like Riyad hosted episode 1, Skalk Besaidnout, Barry Hilton, Tumi Morake, Kurt Skundrat, Nick Rabinowitz, name a comedian, they will be hosting one of the shows.
Goosebumps.
Yeah.
I literally just got a whole lot of goosebumps. Those are some star-studded names.
Well, that's the thing. You know, we want to obviously play our best hands. And so for myself and Riyad as the producers, we were like, let's call in all the favors we can. And we worked with an amazing co-creator with us, Maynard Clark. Of course, he's a movie director. And Maynard was supposed to be overseas shooting. He's attached to a bunch of movies that are supposed to be shooting overseas right now. But, of course, COVID meant that he's here. Our sound guy is a phenomenal sound guy that works all over the world. Our DOP, amazing guy, works all over the world. They were all available to us, so we got to shoot something really amazing. And it airs on SABC2 on Friday nights at 7:30 prime time.
Oh, wow.
Fun for the whole family. It's going to be amazing.
You know what? I can only imagine after a very long, stressful, tiring, cold week at work or school, there is nothing better to cozy up to than Comedy Mixtape. I can only imagine just the chuckles and the laughs that are going to be resonating through every single home in South Africa that tunes in. I'm very excited for it. But not only that, it seemed like you got the best of the best to work on this project. How important is that for you? And I mean, working with someone that is traditionally a movie director
Yes.
having to direct something like this?
Well, it was interesting because what happened was the show it's not just sketch comedy. So it's some sketch comedy, there's some stand-up comedy, some studio-based work. And I've worked as a director behind the scenes and a producer in studio and for stand-up and comedy specials and so on. Whereas Maynard brings his movie-making background to the sketches. So the sketches look like they are Hollywood, man. They look incredible. So it's got a real great feel to it. And as we said, we pulled in all of the favors. But more importantly, we said to the guys, we want to create a comedy show that everyone can laugh for.
Yeah.
You know, we wanted to have the broadest possible appeal. 7:30, it means that it's you know, you take away all the swearing, you take away all of what you might be doing in a comedy club and just go, guys, it's family friendly. Make it so that everyone from 8 to 80 can laugh at this thing. It doesn't matter who you are, where you are in this country. It's got to be stuff that you can laugh at. And so that was the brief for the writers, and man, they rose to the occasion.
Because I was also going to say, I mean, you said originally you were looking for something for the Cape Townians. You were like, hey, look, we've got our own kind of niche comedy, sense of humor, and you wanted to go for that. And already, you know, living in Cape Town, there's certain phrases, words that go straight over my head. I'm like, what? And then it takes time to kind of cultivate that. But okay, we're going to hear more about our comedy mixtape as the show continues.
For sure.
You are here for Father's Day.
I am here for Father's Day.
A lot of people don't know that you are a husband, you're a father, you are just a man who is... First of all, are you a family man, or is this just a title to you?
No, I'm a family man. It literally is. It's all consuming. I mean, if I do comedy, it's pretty much... They say you must write about what you know. And so most of my jokes are about being a dad and a husband. That's kind of the space I live in.
So do they inspire you, motivate you? And how so? I mean, first of all, don't they kind of get upset when they're like, hey, Dad?
No, you know what is interesting? I suppose it started with my wife. She kind of understood the brief, which is that if I talk about my wife on stage, it's the sort of every wife. So the stories I'm telling is not necessarily her stories. Sometimes it's about her girlfriends, or, you know, you just kind of eavesdrop about what's happening in her girlfriends' lives. And I'm like, I can use that for stage.
No one is safe. No one's safe.
So my wife is the sort of every wife, and the husband I am is sort of every husband. And I'll sort of grab stories here, there, and everywhere. And the same applies to my kids. You know, my kids don't mind too much. I think they've kind of grown up with the idea that I'm going to use them in my social media.
What are their ages?
The one's 10 and the one's 13.
Wow.
About to turn 13.
Well, they're at that age now where they can realize who Daddy is, that Daddy's kind of famous. Daddy's kind of... People like Daddy. How are they dealing with that energy?
It's funny. I'll never forget. Many years ago, sort of like 4 or 5 years ago, my youngest, we were standing in a lift, and someone said, "Can I get a selfie?"
Yes.
I wasn't sure. And we got in the lift closed, and he just breathed, he sighed. He was like, oh, "It's always nice to meet a fan." I was like,
oh my goodness!
I was like, "Oh boy."
Well, on that very hot note, I've got a quiz for you. So as we are enjoying a very nice, beautiful hot cuppa, now we know that more behind the man, we know more about the man behind the mic, rather. So it's time to put him to the test and see how much he knows about his cup. It's time for the Roy Boss Cappuccino Quiz, brought to you by Freshpack, South Africa's #1 Roy Boss brand. Now, your first question, are you ready?
I'm ready. Do I win something firstly? That's how high are the stakes here?
Pretty high. You get to walk away as the Roy boss.
Oh, nice. Do I get a cup? Do I get a mug? Or do I just steal this like I would at a wedding?
You get my love. Okay, true or false?
Okay, cool. Here we go.
I want to find out from you. Roy Boss is naturally caffeine-free. True or false?
That sounds like a trick question. I'm going to... True. It's true.
Okay, it's true. #1. Yay! #2. Roy Boss has recently received protected designation of origin status. This means that Roy Boss can only come from one place. Which place is that? Is it #1, the Cedarburg, Table Mountain, or the Drakensberg?
I know this answer. It is the Cedarburg. Home of Roy Boss.
So
yes.
2 for 2.
Yes,
Let's find out the last question. True or false? Roy Boss can be found growing naturally anywhere around the world where other teas thrive.
I'm gonna go and no. I think it can only grow in the Western Cape.
That's
only
an
the
easy
Cedarburg.
one.
Yeah.
Absolute truth. Congratulations. Well, that's a trick one. It is false, but you are right. Congratulations, Stuart is clearly a man who knows his rooibos cappuccino down to a T. Now, did you see what I did there? Now, if you want to get your hands onto an awesome fresh pack hamper, simply send your name or go over to the Afternoon Express social media pages and answer this for us. What about fresh pack rooibos do you love? And you can stand a chance to win. Remember to use that hashtag #FreshPackRooibos. The competition closes at midnight on Sunday, the 20th of June. T's and C's do apply. And for more information, just head over to our website. See you after the break.
Join Olive Pride Chef's Tour and travel the country as we cook along with Luyanda Mafanya, Ruben Riffel and Jan Bry every Tuesday on Afternoon Express. Win 1 of 10 cooking appliances weekly or a grand prize of a kitchen makeover worth 150,000 Rand. To enter, buy any Olive Pride pack and dial *120*2462* with your unique code to enter. Prepare to be proud.
Welcome back to Afternoon Express. Now, if you want to get your kids involved in treating Dad to something elite and yet something so special, then our mini egg fritters are the perfect recipe. Get the kids to whip up everything together and you have an elite dish in almost no time. Now, Chef Dumi, this is all things Dad inspired.
Yes, Palesa, the simplicity of it, because one, we want the kids to be able to celebrate Daddy, right? So we don't want them to just throw anything together on the plate. We still want it to show that it's made with love. So frittatas are the perfect example of such a dish, because all you do is whip up your eggs, add whatever ingredients you have, put it in the oven and feed Daddy. So what we've got here is everyone here has got some eggs and different fillings. So the one thing thing I love about it is you can add whatever you've got in your kitchen. So I've got some bacon, some chives, spring onion, salt, pepper, and some Clover cheese because the star of the show today. It's not about you today. It's about
Oh, it's about that. Okay.
And
fair enough,
speaking
fair
of
enough,
which,
yeah.
I mean, Stuart, as a comedian, a
Yes.
father, I want to
Yes.
know, are you much of a pro in the kitchen?
I am terrible in the kitchen. I know nothing. I stand back and I wash dishes occasionally. That's as good as I get.
Do you love to eat the food that's
I
made
do
in the
eat,
kitchen?
yes. No, I do eat. I'll tell the occasional joke. Can I get the dad joke out of the way? Because
Okay.
I know we're all expecting a dad joke, so I might as well. I'll tell you, and then you're not allowed to laugh. That's the ultimate dad jokes.
Okay.
Okay. And the dad jokes are supposed to be terrible, so don't judge me too harshly, okay? Why don't eggs tell each other jokes? Because they'll crack each other up. Okay, let's get going then, shall we?
Oh, we're not supposed to laugh. Okay, not funny.
That
at
was
all.
terrible. I thought you were going to say because everyone thinks they're an expert.
Okay, so
All right.
other people can tell dad jokes as well. That's
Okay, brilliant. So, Dumi, on your side, I can see you're making the meaty version of the egg frittata.
Correct, but
on
it's also-
our side, we're making the vegetarian.
Yes, Palesa. So all you do is just whisk up your eggs.
Whisk up
There's a bit of milk on the side as well. If you don't want to use milk, you can always use cream as well to make them a little on the creamier side. And if you want to, you can even add some melted butter. However, we always advise that whenever you're going to put your frittatas into any baking dish, whether it's a muffin tin or a pan, make sure you grease it nicely so it doesn't stick to the pan.
how's my technique?
Well,
I've
you can
seen
put,
my
it's all
wife
in the
do
wrist.
this.
It's all in the wrist.
It's all
and
in the
I can
wrist.
see it.
Look at that! Wow.
You're not an amateur. You've been doing this before.
Okay, and then what do I have here? I've got some mushrooms. I've got some pepper. What is this over here?
That is some thyme. You know your stuff, Mus. Yeah, thyme, some garlic, salt, and pepper to season your eggs because we need to make
cool.
sure
So
they're
I'm
nice
pouring
and
it all
seasoned.
in here.
And then, I mean, as we are adding all of the ingredients that we need to put together this beautiful, something that is somewhat of a Father's Day breakfast, we are going to be adding the eliteness, the elite quality, the elite taste of Clover cheese. Now, I can see today, Dumi, we've gone with the cheddar, but I can believe, I mean, at the end of the day, you can go with almost any type of cheese.
Correct.
On your side, you went with the feta.
Yes, Palesa. So I've got some cheddar and I've also got some, feta and some cheddar here. We've also got, in the Clover range, you've also got the tussers. There's so many options that you've got. So any type of cheese that you like could go very well here. I'm going with the feta because I want that added saltiness in my frittatas. Because I've realized that daddies can be a little salty. That's why their dad jokes are the way they are.
I don't eat feta.
You don't?
No, because you are what you eat.
And you ain't fit, huh?
Wow, dad jokes
Is that
galore.
better? Okay, forget it, guys. No more jokes. You get no more of my
I
jokes.
feel like today's episode is going to be very dry. I mean, everybody just bear with us. We are celebrating the fathers today, but not only are we celebrating the fathers, but we're celebrating food. Now, I know that within this recipe, you can almost add any type of ingredient to make it special for dad. I know that you've got the mushroom.
Yes.
You've got the peppers as well.
Yes, mushroom and peppers. This is for the vegetarian dad. You have to, or the, well, it could be a vegan. No, vegans can't have eggs. So.
Vegan can't have eggs. And, of course, we cannot forget the delicious Clover cheese that we're going to be adding. So I'm going to give you some cheese
Chuck
here.
some in there. Lovely.
Because it is very important to have that cheese either on the inside or on the top because you want that beautiful golden brown color and layer at the very top of that frittata. So I see you guys have done it completely different to me. So what I've done is I layered my ingredients at the bottom and then added the egg mixture on the top.
Right.
You guys did it the completely different way.
No,
where you
I'm
mixed
actually
everything together.
I'm gonna follow you, Dumi, and why I've decided to follow you. Initially, I was gonna do it like you, Stuart, but why I'm doing it this way, just like Dumi, I believe that there'll be less mess, and I'm all about there being less mess in the kitchen. And I think that if I were to scoop up my eggs with the ingredients, it'll just make a mess all over the place. So I'd rather just like fill it up halfway, just like that, and then after
So
filling
what
it
you're
up,
saying is that you guys are doing it the correct way, and I'm doing it the incorrect way.
not at all, because look, you're perfect. You're getting it perfectly.
Look at
What I
that.
feared, you're nailing.
And the funny part is this is exactly what you want. You want your kids to get their hands dirty and make sure they get, involved in making the dish for you.
To me, have you seen my children's hands? I don't want their hands anywhere near my food.
Well, I'm going to put mine in the oven here because I have already washed and sanitized my hands. I crumbled up some feta into there. This goes into the oven. I'm going to take out some that I made a little earlier for you guys to see. And this is basically it. Our frittatas are nicely made. They're beautifully cooked. And like I mentioned, you need to make sure the temperature is not too high. You don't overcook your frittatas, otherwise they're going to be too dry. And then look at this. They're nice and soft and delicious, and they hold their shape. And a perfect gift for a father, actually.
Beautiful. I mean, Stuart, as we are putting the finishing touches on this beautiful meal, this is definitely one for the dad heroes. Get the recipe over at afternoonexpress.co.za.
Clover cheese is for those who love life, where everything falls into place and melts away our cares, adding joy and stretching our imagination. Clover, for the love of cheese.
Made with love by Clover.
Stuart, as we are popping those into the oven, go on ahead. On social media, we have not forgotten about you. Our question to you today goes like this. Father's Day is just around the corner. Now, we want to find out, do you look like your dad? Please do head over and post a picture of both of you side by side and let us see the resemblance. Remember to use that hashtag Afternoon Express in all of your comments. Now, we know that you might have a unique relationship with your dad, so we're keeping the menu hot and heavy as we continue on this Thursday cook-along. Welcome back to Afternoon Express. Driven by passion, dedication, and an innovative spirit, Lin's master chocolatiers create the world's finest chocolate delights. Dumi was treated to a chocolate and coffee pairing with master chocolatier Dimos Matos at Lin's studios. Huge FOMO over here.
When it comes to developing a palate for chocolate, Lindt Excellence is the perfect ingredient. Here at the Lindt studio, Master Chocolatier Dimos Matos will be guiding me through a chocolate and coffee pairing. Yummy! The warmth and bitterness of coffee paired with the sweet smoothness of chocolate sounds heavenly. And today will be my first time trying this divine combo.
We've got a variety of coffees, and it's all paired with our Excellence range. So the first one we're doing is Mint Intense with frappe. So we've got some milk chocolate flakes there just to give it a bit of a extra top. Perfect. And it's quite important, of course, we've got a cold drink.
Yeah.
We want to warm up the chocolate and allow it to start melting slightly, release a bit of flavor, and then have a bit of the coffee.
You're off to a good start because that aroma from the mint works so perfectly with a cold drink.
So the next one, we're going to go high cocoa content, 90%. So we've paired this with espresso, and then we're going to add a little bit of the whipped cream to the top. So the 90% cocoa has quite a buttery kind of mouthfeel to it.
Cheers.
And again, let's warm it up. And now we have another shot of the coffee.
If you're a lover of espresso, then you definitely need to try this because the intensity from the dark chocolate and the intensity of the espresso is just amazing.
The type of coffee that we've used for this is from Sumatra. The orange intense has flaked almond with
Yes.
it, and candied orange pieces. So we're working with that cinnamon, clove, orange, candied kind of spice flavor profile. We put a bit of the steamed froth milk on the top and a little bit of cocoa,
Okay.
toasted almond.
Definitely intense. My favorite. I absolutely love the orange intense. Because of the slight sweetness from the orange intense, it has a completely different flavor profile to how the espresso and the 90% paired.
So we've got Americano coffee that we're going to pour over our actual Excellence chocolate. It's going to start melting the chocolate, it's going to fall into the condensed milk, and then you'll be able to stir it and combine it and make yourself this mocha drink.
The intensity of the 70% Excellence is actually coming through so much in this flavor.
And you can see it's quite pleasant. There's nothing too, even though we're using a 70% cocoa, it's quite well balanced.
Delicious. Now the intensity is actually changing because we're going into the extra creamy Excellence flavor.
Correct. So of course it is our milk chocolate, it is slightly sweeter, so we paired it with a latte. Just as a little bit of a decor, we're going to take some of this caramel schmear. We're going to smear it into the actual glass. To this, we're going to add our espresso.
Okay.
So this is steamed froth milk. And then just to finish it off with a little bit of a decor, we're just going to put some milk chocolate flakes. Now those milk flakes are going to take the heat from the coffee and then start melting. Clean your mouth.
Awesome stuff. Let me go in. Cheers. I'm also thinking you could do this with a sea salt flavor because you know salted caramel.
Yeah.
I think
yeah,
that
exactly.
might work.
You can have a little spin on things. So we're going to take it back to the Mediterranean. This is our Greek Cypriot coffee. We actually pour it in these little demi-tasse cups. And then traditionally what the guys will do is also just have a little bit of cold water that we just sprinkle over the top. It helps to filter down the coffee. We've paired it with our 70% mild.
Okay.
And the reason for this is that the mild is, it's bringing through the full cocoa flavor, but it's not going to kind of compete with the coffee. Once you've got the cocoa flavor in your mouth, then you can take a sip of the coffee. I don't know if you've picked up, but the sweetness from the mild's actually coming through.
I think maybe that's why it doesn't feel that intense because it's already just sort of diluted the strength of the coffee. Well, thank you very much, Dimo. I really enjoyed this. Each time I try and say I'm giving up my sweet tooth, you just come back and say there's no sweet tooth going anywhere. This is something that everyone should experience, which is why Lindt is giving you the chance to win one of 2 Excellence hampers to the value of 1,000 Rand. To enter, head over to our Afternoon Express Facebook, Twitter or Instagram pages and let us know what is your favorite Lindt Excellence flavor to pair with your cup of coffee. 70%, 85%, orange, mint or sea salt. Don't forget to include the hashtag #LindtExcellence. Competition closes Monday, 21st June at noon, and T's and C's can be found on afternoonexpress.co.za.
Lindt Excellence. Refined chocolate pleasure. Lindt Master Swiss Chocolatiers.
Hi, Kemzansi. This is what they do to you. They leave you in studio, they head off to the Lint Studios, all the way in the V&A waterfront. Exactly, Stuart. That's the energy. What do you got to say for yourself?
But my friend, I thought you said you don't have a sweet tooth.
I mean, fine. But I'm so glad that you're giving South Africa an opportunity to walk away with such incredible goodies, which brings us to our very next recipe. Speaking about giving away the goods, looking for an easy lunch opportunity to spoil Dad with this coming Sunday? Well, Lucky Star has got you covered with a scrumptious baked potato with cheesy pilchard and baked bean mayo. Trust me, he's gonna love it. Does this sound like something you're gonna love?
It sounds good. It sounds amazing. Sounds amazing.
Well, what do we need, Dumi, to put this together? Because you did offer us ease.
Yes, Palisa, that's the lovely thing. I keep saying this, that we're keeping it simple. We're just packing it with loads and loads of flavor. Because we know our daddies, we always say the way to a man's heart is through his stomach. So we need to make sure that not only does he enjoy the food as it goes into his mouth, but it keeps him full, so he sits there and he doesn't trouble you, and he just enjoys his coffee and whatever drink he's drinking and just enjoys his day.
And also, it might be my kids preparing this meal. So you want like 3 steps. But they, you know, the ADD kicks in after step number 4, and then they, you know, just forget that they were actually cooking. So simple is better.
Well, so then let's make sure that your 2 little ones are able to nail this every time. Dumi, what do we need?
All right, so to start it off, we're making a baked potato. So we've got our potatoes that have been made there. We've started it off, we boiled them, pre-boiled them, and then we put them in the oven. This is to make sure if you're afraid that it might not be cooked fully, then you can at least just pre-boil it first and then put it into the oven with the filling. So you're gonna just cut the potatoes for us and then scoop out a little bit of the potato because we're gonna make the filling here.
Cool.
I'm gonna make the filling with our Lucky Star Pilchards that is in sweet chili sauce, and then mix that with some of the tomato, baked beans and tomato sauce, and then some mayo and some cheese is gonna go nicely on top. Bake those in the oven, and then as they come out, Balisa, you are chopping up the chives for us that are gonna go on the very top to make this dish not only look not only a delicious dish, but also make it look delicious. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. I'm so excited for it. Another thing that's very exciting about this is not only the opportunity that South Africa has to walk away with an incredible Lucky Star hamper, but Lucky Star is also packing in the goods within each can, because Lucky Star Pilchards are a healthy alternative of protein. It's packed with omega-3 fatty acids, which is good for your heart, and it is also good for your brain.
Yes, Balisa, and even the baked beans are high in fiber, making it perfect for you. So those people that struggle with the tummy and constipation and stuff like that, fiber is really good for you. So the baked beans would actually help in that instance as well.
Here we go. And doesn't it have protein in it? Is baked beans not protein?
Yes, it is.
That's where vegans get their protein.
Absolutely. Beans are a huge part and source of protein, I think. A lot of my little brother actually is quite the gym fanatic. So he's always asking me for tuna, beans. Trust me, I always go to Lucky Star for all the above. On another note, we're also coming through here with the carbs, with that starch, with the potatoes. Now, Dumi, first of all, before I get to my question, Stuart, are you much of a potato lover?
I love a potato. I love a potato in any form. In any form.
Couch potato.
A couch potato, a sweet potato.
Couch potato. Did someone enter my dad to the chat? Just kidding, Dad. Kidding. No, but on a very serious note, I do love a good potato, and I took it from my grandmother. My grandmother taught my mother, and one thing that my mother used to always say to us, Balisa, don't use those potatoes. They would be terrible for frying. Balisa, don't use those potatoes because they won't work with roasting. And I always thought that she's just trying to play me. But Dumi, as I'm growing older, I go into the grocery store and I do see the potatoes are now clearly labeled.
Correct.
Boiling, for roasting, for frying, for this.
I also thought it's a marketing thing. Like, now I've got to buy 3 different bags of potatoes because I want to boil, roast, and fry. No.
Well,
is it true?
It is true. It is true, because depending on the type of dish you want to make, there's some that actually have a more waxier texture. There's some that have a firmer texture. You also see some we don't get them this side, but there are those potatoes that actually have a thicker skin, which make perfectly for roasting, because they basically make sure that the inside is nice and soft and the outside, you know, basically holds its shape. So you can just do the research, go online, see what kind of potatoes you need for whatever dish, and then use it accordingly. But dear sir, going back to our recipe today, may I ask you just to brush those potatoes with some melted butter, and I'm going to get started with...
Can I do a dad joke?
Okay.
Please. We've been yearning for one.
Okay. Did you hear the rumor about the butter?
No.
Oh, no, let me not spread it.
Oh, my goodness. Okay.
Jokes on the spot.
I'm one of those people who just, I cannot not laugh.
Like, same here, Balis. I tried to hold back, but I mean, it's such a dad joke. It's a typical dad joke.
It is, it is.
It doesn't matter how not funny or corny or whatever it is, which actually just reminds me, Stuart, about the joke about the roof. Have you ever heard about it?
No, I haven't.
Don't worry about it. It'll go straight over your head.
Yes, Bali. Great comeback.
I like it, I like it. There's competition in the air.
I know, I love it for you. Okay, so Dumi, let me hand over the chives to you. They are cut, chopped to perfection, ready for you to just assemble.
Awesome stuff. So
Okay.
all I'm going to
So
do
I'll brush
now,
that.
after Master here passes over the potatoes, all we're going to do is we're going to fill up our potatoes to get baking into the oven with some of our pilchards and baked potato. So the lovely thing about this is that you don't need any additional seasoning because the pilchards have already been seasoned enough. The baked potatoes add that additional sweetness that you want into this recipe. And all I'm going to do is add some cheese on the very top, melt that beautifully, add some sour cream, the chives, make them look absolutely amazing, and that is it.
I love the fact that you are just putting the finishing touches on this because I feel like this is what it is all about. When we do think of an Afternoon Express masterclass, it's all about the learning.
Yes.
It is all about expanding your knowledge, but also expanding your recipe repertoire.
Yes.
So are you feeling confident that you could try this at home?
This one seems easy enough, I won't lie. So far, both of them, you know, I feel like they are at my level. They are at my level.
And on that note, being on your level, you were telling us about an amazing time that you were in Durban, and you wanted to whip up a gorgeous curry, but you also wanted to get the best potato for it. I mean, and you had to seek counsel.
I did. I went and I found an Indian friend. I said, dude, why does your curry taste better than my curry? And then he gave me the secret. Apparently, he uses an up-to-date potato.
So does that just mean it's expiry date is...
No, that is the name of a potato. That's a potato.
Yeah,
you get an up-to-date potato.
Wow.
And that is what will make your curry amazing.
Well, you heard
up-to-date
it here
potato.
first, folks. Make sure you get yourself some up-to-date potatoes. Now, Dumi, when it comes to keeping up-to-date with this recipe, what are some of the key tips, tricks that we have to remember?
It is important to make sure that your potatoes are fully cooked because you don't want people cutting into that dish and it's hard on the inside. That's why we're saying try and pre-boil it if you're afraid of it not cooking fully in the oven. And then also, just make sure that you melt your cheese not too high. The temperature shouldn't be too high because everything in there, in essence, is already cooked. You just want to melt the cheese, add the sour cream and the chives, and the dish is done.
So, Stuart, we did also promise to give away incredible goodies to all of our viewers. And one of the key mechanisms is you have to answer a question.
Right. What's the question?
Can I ask you what the question is?
Ask me the question.
If you were to have anything from this incredible Lucky Star hamper, but namely, let's use what we used in today's recipe, which was our delicious pilchards and, of course, our baked beans. What would you create if you had a tin of each?
Ooh, that's a tough one. What dish would I create if I had some baked beans?
Baked beans or some pilchard fish?
You know, the beauty of Lucky Star is that it's a meal in a can. All you need is a tin opener. All you need is a tin opener and some hunger, and you sorted. That's my kind of cooking.
Do me as an adjudicator.
I can't top that, honestly. That's a dish on its own. Like, winner, winner.
Wow, winner. And on that note, I've got some good news for you. We're giving away a 1,000 Rand Lucky Star hamper filled with loads of delicious Lucky Star goodies. All you have to do is hop over to our Facebook, Twitter, or Instagram competition posts and tell us what dish you would make with a tin of Lucky Star pilchards and Lucky Star baked beans. Remember to include the hashtag LuckyStarSA. Competition closes at noon on Monday, the 21st of June. T's and C's can be found on afternoonexpress.co.za. Now, Dumi, we've got our first two recipes done. We are gonna dive into a delicious sandwich coming up.
Yes, Palestine, there's nothing funny about it because it is a dish for the decades. It is a Dagwood, a Father's Day Dagwood, and anyone that wants to attempt that, I promise you can just go on to afternoonexpress.co.za. But yeah, it's worth attempting.
Absolutely. If you do head over to our website, Udomi has detailed quite intently the recipe, the ingredients list, so you can be shopping along to make this incredible magic in the kitchen. And no, we're not talking about the magic that Stuart was trying to create when he was back in the day, knee-high to a grasshopper. This is magic that you can create with your own pots and pans at home. But more from us when we return. Welcome back to the show, and this is for all the fathers. Now, Daddy-o, Papa, eat time. Some of the many affectionate names that we use to call our superhero dads. Now, we've all heard that the best way to someone's heart is through their stomach, and that is exactly how we intend on winning the affections of all our fathers. Dumi, this is a big one. This is a big deal.
It is, Palesa, but I just want to ask Stuart a question.
Yes.
What is the difference between a simple person and pizza?
I have no idea.
One is simple to eat and one is simple to cheat. One is cheesy to eat. Sorry, I missed that. Yeah, one is simple to eat and one is cheesy to eat.
I mean, as a comedian, how important is comic timing and getting the joke right?
Well, you know, I feel like we've got a new style of comedy that has just been invented over here.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
What's the difference between cheese and tomato?
I don't know.
Moon. It's like that, just exactly.
Oh, you just say whatever.
Just make it up as you go along, guys.
Let me
what
focus
we're
on what I
really,
know.
really good at doing.
Yeah.
We're about to make Daddy a delicious Dagwood. See what I did there with all those D's. But
Nice.
we are packing in. We're going to get a stellar A+ for this.
Yes, Palesa, definitely. And a Dagwood is not complete without that beautiful patty. And instead of using normal mince, we're going to be using boerewors because we're keeping it South African as well. So we're going to make our patties with our boerewors. We've got some ham, some basil, some Gruyere cheese. We've also got some eggs. You over there are going to be slicing up some tomatoes for me, Palesa, and some gherkins. And Meneer, may I ask
Yes.
you to please fry up our bacon for us?
Okay, am I getting some oil in the pan?
You
or
are definitely
we...
getting some oil. We are using our EXCELLA oil today. It's a superior product. The one thing I love about it is that it's light, it is odorless. You don't have to worry about it affecting any of the flavor, whatever it is that you're cooking.
Nice.
So all we need now is you can pop those babies in there, make sure they get cooked fully.
We've pretty much used EXCELLA in almost every type of recipe, Dumi, whether it is frying, whether it is baking. It's pretty much been a superhero, much like our super dad.
Basically, Palesa, and the one thing about it is that our dads are not simple, but this recipe here is very, very simple, you know? Okay, mister, not only is he a comedian, I see you doing some karate over there.
I do. It's how I fry my bacon.
Okay, so all I'm doing, Palesa, is we're using our boerewors to make some beautiful patties. I've removed some of the casing, and then I'm forming these beautiful, simple beef patties here. We're using our boerewors, and the one thing I love about this, again, is that the boerewors is already seasoned for us, so you don't have to worry about adding any additional seasoning to your meat. So I'm
Let
also
me
going to
put down the fire here because, I mean...
Oh, is it too high?
It's quite obvious who is not used to being in the kitchen. Okay, let's put it on a 3. Champagne.
Sorry, my bad.
No worries. So, Dumi, essentially here, when we are putting together a Dagwood, Dagwood is like a burger with everything in it. Everything other than the kitchen sink.
Exactly, Palesa. And that's all it's about. It's about being as creative as you can. You know, you said that your boys are menaces in the kitchen. You can literally get them to take whatever you like and put it in.
And they put it on it all. What do you call a Dagwood that you serve on Father's Day?
What?
A Dagwood.
All right,
I know such a
Stuart.
thing.
Okay.
I'm not sure how I feel about your jokes
Back
anymore,
to the
bruh.
drawing board.
Okay, and speaking about the drawing board, I'm almost done here with my
Almost done.
gherkins,
But you're also going to make a pesto mayo for us because a Dagwood, a burger, a sandwich, none of that is delicious and good enough without the sauce. So you're just going to make a mayo sauce for us over there, and then I'm going to start assembling our Dagwoods over here. I've got our beef patties cooking. And I've got some that I've made, so I'm just going to start assembling. It's very simple, very easy, Palesa. And if you wanted to change it up and perhaps use chicken, perhaps, you are more than welcome to do that. The one thing I love about Dagwood as well is that it's got a lot of layers to it, like our fathers. You know, one moment they're superheroes and they don't cry. Next moment he's watching a romantic movie and he's crying. And then you wonder, then what happened to that superhero I was talking to 2 minutes ago?
Sometimes I feel like you're a spy on the wall when it comes to my father, that you have almost described him to the T. Very, very hard on the outside, but soft and gooey on the inside. Is that like you, Stuart?
I think that's like me. That's like me. Soft and gooey on the outside and the inside.
Okay, Dumi, here is your pesto.
Thank you, Palesa.
Done. And now it's just time to assemble.
Now it's just time to assemble, Palesa. And unlike using beef patties where you want if you want to, you can choose to have your beef patty medium or rare. In this instance, because we're using boerewors, it is important to make sure that you cook it fully, just to be on the safe side. We don't want any mistakes. So to start assembling, I've got my first piece of ciabatta on the bottom here. I'm going to go very saucy. I like my Dagwoods a little on the saucier side because it can be quite a lot in there. So you want to make sure that it's nicely sauced up. And then I follow with our beautiful boerewors patty. And then you can start laying it up however you want here.
It looks really good.
You can be as creative as you like. I'm going in with my egg that I've got nice and soft, and I'm going to turn it around just so you see if I pop it there, the juiciness of that egg just goes in there. So that's basically what you want. You want that flavor, you want that deliciousness. We're going in with some ham, some basil,
and let's add more protein. You know, I know a lot of people, especially fathers, because they tend to work out a lot as well.
Yes,
they are heavy on the protein. So the bacon station is also ready?
Also ready. And Palace, I don't know if you noticed, I've put the cheese right below the bacon because what this is going to do is that the bacon is going to help assist the cheese in melting a bit more into this Dagwood. And then I'll just finish assembling it, and that is our Dagwood for Daddy ready and done.
Well, that's a recipe that I'd be proud to present my father with this Father's Day. And if you want to try your hand at it, then just head over to www.afternoonexpress.co.za for the full ingredients list. Now, when we do come back, we'll be wrapping up the special Father's Day edition with comedian Stuart Taylor. Stuart seems like he's even cracking the jokes in the kitchen.
Yes.
So, Stuart, we're about to take off that apron and just dive a little deep into the father that you are. Are you ready to eat?
I think so. I mean, it smells amazing. And, you know, the bacon, I don't know about that, but the bacon is perfect. I feel you'll find.
I mean, you
never been done better.
You just had one job, but other than that, we will see you and get to talk about your little ones when we return. Welcome back to the show where we are ready to eat our Dad's Day inspired menu. Let's get eating. Well, it was Xolisa Kuzula, an early literary specialist, who said, a love for reading is sparked when children see themselves in stories and relate it to their lives, even more so when it is shared in their mother language. And Cadbury Dairy Milk is on a mission to do just that by helping to inspire a love for reading amongst children in your own words by creating a library filled with enchanting children's storybooks in their mother tongue. To inspire, we are reading one of those captivating tales that will be published in isiZulu. Dumi, take it away.
Thank you, Pali. I am reading Utumi nezifiso ezintathu. Ukuxoxa kabusha kwendaba ethi Aladdin and the Magic Lamp. Ubaba uvalelisa kuTumi, uziphathe kahle namhlanje. Ungangeni egumbini lami. Ungakhulumi nopholi onguphathu. uTumi angabamelanga ubaba. Sawubona ngosha kuTumi. Uphathi upholi uyazithulela nje. Ngabe yini le esekhijini likaphathu? Impempe eligcwele uthuli. uTumi uyalisula ize ihlanzeke bese eyifutha. Sawubona wena wangasentla, kusho upholi onguphathu. Ngizokwenzela noma yikuphi okufisayo okathathu. Ngifisa sengathi ngabe nginawo wonke amaswidi ekhona emhlabeni. Phufu. uTumi ulonywa yisisu. Esedle amaswidi amaningi kakhulu. Tumi, angikwazi ukungena. Umnyango uvalekile. Usubuyile phela baba. Ngabe ukhulume nopholi onguphathu Tumi? uTumi uyesaba. Ngifisa sengathi wonke lamaswidi anganyamalala. Phufu, isifiso sakhe sesifezekile. That is the story of Aladdin and the Magic Lamp, translated into isiZulu by the lovely lady we know as Mabel Mnanze.
Beautiful.
Amazing.
I mean, she narrated that absolutely perfectly,
Yes.
read to the T. How important is it for you as a father and just someone who is in the entertainment space for languages and stories to be celebrated?
Vital. It's vital. You know, there's this idea that you can only achieve what you can see. And if you can't see yourself in that space, in your mind's eye, it's not going to happen for you. So your imagination is key. But what is better than that is seeing someone who looks like you be something. So, I mean, it all sort of ties together. This is an amazing start, you know, the idea that you can say to someone, you are valued because I'm going to tell you the story in your language. You have the ability to dream and fly a magic lantern or magic carpet because you see someone who looks like you and who sounds like you and who speaks like you doing that.
Beautifully said. Thank you so much,
So
Tumi.
cool.
And I love your interpretation of the entire message. Now, South Africa, this is where you come in. Help translate a word a day to co-author a library full of children's storybooks so that all children can enjoy enchanting tales in their own home language. Just visit www.cadbury.co.za and help create storybooks #in your own words today. Now it's that time of the show where we get to taste the fruits of our labor, and who better to enjoy it other than producer, comedian and father figure Stuart Taylor and our very own award-winning chef Dumi. Now let's get eating. I know we've already started eating, so I guess let's continue eating. Dumi, what did we make today?
Well, so we started off with these amazing frittatas that I've started digging into, and I must say that they taste absolutely amazing. The flavor combination in there, which is what is great. You can combine it with whatever you like. We started with the frittatas, and then we followed suit with our baked potatoes with the beautiful Pilchard's filling on the inside. You basically take your potato, make sure it's nice and soft and gooey, add the filling inside, and enjoy it however you like.
Wow.
And then we ended it off with a signature Father's Day dish. I can't think of anything else that celebrates fathers than a nice big tower of a sandwich, which is our Dagwood.
Now, Stuart,
With Gruyere cheese. With Gruyere cheese.
I love that for you.
Yes.
You seem to be an extraordinary person already, inside and out. You've got such an infectious personality. I can only imagine the little ones that take after you.
You know what? It's interesting. It's a blessing, and it's probably the hardest job possible. And it is really something else. Trying to be a present father. That's what I try to do. I try to be present, and I try to sort of realize, you know, that everything you do or you say to them has got impact.
Yeah.
and I do not get it right. You know what I mean? Afterwards, you go, oh my goodness, I said that thing. I shouldn't have said that. Now he's gonna have to go for counselling when he's 40 because his dad's whatever. So it's really frustrating because you try to be the perfect father. You try to raise these amazing kids or at least let them reach their potential. It's a hard job, but it's a
Do you
very
have a bit of a
fulfilling one.
close relationship with a tortoise?
I think the whole family does. No, my eldest son is he wants to be a tortoise specialist or whatever the case may be. He loves tortoises. That is his absolute
cute.
world. So we've got to, wherever we go, has got to involve tortoises.
Wow.
So, yeah.
As we have today created something that is meant to be a perfect day or perfect menu for Dad, what would your perfect Father's Day look like?
Ooh, my perfect Father's Day. It's
be
always
left
on the sun. I would very much love to not be woken up. If I can wake up on my own time. No, I mean, it's always a beautiful moment because the boys will always come in and it's always a bag full of sugar, basically. It's what they get me.
They get the gifts they want for themselves too.
Yeah. Exactly, except I don't share. I do not share any of my chocolates with them. I'm like, sorry, boys, this is my day.
Oh, I love that.
I chow it all. And, my wife is always very good. She'll always make a slap-up breakfast or we'll kind of hang out together.
Super cute. Well, in this moment, I know we're running out of time, but I have to give a huge shout out to my father. Daddy, you are so incredible, such an inspiration. A lot of people don't know that my dad went blind about 6 years ago, but he has recently authored his own book. Congratulations, Dad. What an inspiration. And for yourself, Dumi?
I would also like to say happy Father's Day to my son's dad. Thank you for making this parenting journey such a breeze.
Oh, I love you. We love you all. Daddies, thank you. This all goes out to you. Mwah. Good night. Stay safe and happy eating. Whether you're saying thank you or we believe in you, nothing says it quite